So again, my video got cut off. Don't know why it keeps doing that. So it said we're here doing the shading part, or the observing part, and it says observe highlight from sun on the left side, dark value of shadow on the right. And so you, when you look at this, if you hold it, depending on where you're going to hold it, now from the camera, I'm not sure what angle it is, but when you're holding it, if you look and you just focus the picture itself in your viewfinder, you can see to the left things are generally lighter over here, and so this is a lighter area, and then to the right is going to be darker, which would indicate the sun is in front of these people, because you see them very clearly and up this angle. Obviously, these guys, like this guy who is the one of the priests or the Levite, and here's another one, priest or Levite, and then you have the thief up here. I don't know if you noticed that before. Maybe even thieves, because you can see another guy here who's difficult to see. And he's probably one of the ones, and this guy's looking back at the Samaritan who's helping the guy that was on the side of the road. Sometimes I've wondered whether or not the Samaritan was actually a known person. Somebody knew what had happened to him, and the priests were told of the Samaritan helping, and the man probably wouldn't have known about the other people. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have known that somebody, I think he was a priest, I think the other guy was a Levite, and he just left me there. Well, that's not news that the priests or Levites would have wanted to spread. But if Jesus is telling that story, I always like to imagine this. If he's telling that story, I would imagine that he might have told it because they already knew. And so he's telling them the details. And who knows, even the Levite or the Pharisee whom he had who had asked the question originally, perhaps he was one of the men who walked away, or they were a good friend of his, or a relative of his who had walked away from the man that was along the side of the road, and then made them look bad because Jesus is telling them, there's a Samaritan that helped this guy. Why didn't you? Now, I don't know. That's all conjecture on my part, but it's always possible that that could be the case. I like to imagine those things. I heard somebody say one time when Jesus was doing when he was writing in the sand, when they brought the woman who was accused of adultery, and he was writing in the sand. Some people, I heard somebody say one time, and I thought that was kind of a neat idea. Of course, we don't know for sure anything that happened like that, but that basically Jesus was drawing or he was writing the names of the women that they had committed adultery with, possibly. Now, we don't know, of course, whether that's true or not. The hardest part, I think you'll find, is going to be the shading of the skin. Now, I've got a color here, it says tan. I'm going to use that. He might end up being a little bit darker than what it is in the book. However, I'm going to make sure that I get the entire arm, not just the light parts, but the dark parts as well, so that it can be darker as we see on his skin where the shaded areas are, and maybe the ripple of his muscles, that's what's causing the shaded area. It looks like it is in some places, of course. And so this is it is one of the more difficult colors to work with, and the reason being because when you're done, does that really look like his color? Maybe. And Middle Eastern people, now I don't know about all Jews, and we would assume that this man was a Jew and being helped by a Samaritan, that when Jesus is trying to show the Pharisee his how the Samaritan had done what was right, that it was probably a Jew he had done it for, in spite of the fact that that was not something that anybody probably would have wanted to admit if they knew about the true story of this man. It doesn't say, I'm trying to remember, I'm not sure it says it was a parable, but he just goes into the story. Hey, there was a man who was beaten by robbers and left for dead on the side of the road, and this guy came by, he was a Levite, or a priest, and the other guy came by, he was a Levite. neither one of them helped. They just went on the, they passed him by, left him there in the side of the road to die. And that's a big no-no in Jewish law. Well, it's really a big no-no in any law. We would not expect people today, if somebody was in need. Now, if the person was a dangerous person, they were afraid that that would be one thing. But if they're in need, for them to actually ignore that need, you can actually go to jail for that. Actually be arrested for that. So, all right, so not too bad. We've gotten a pretty good color. That's not too bad. It's hard to find a flesh color, and everybody's flesh color is different because it depends on how much melanin you have in there. I know that this looks peach. I'm just going to test it out just to see. Sometimes if you use peach for fair-skinned colored people, it doesn't really work so well. This guy looks like he's jaundiced a little bit. He's a little bit yellowish. Let's see what this would come out to. That might have been a better color. Okay, so I'm going to add this on top just to darken him up a little bit. Not darken him up, but to make him a little bit less yellow, because he looks like his liver is failing him. All right. So it works a little bit. And it's not the greatest in the world, but you do with what you have. All right. So, but it's smooth, it's even. You can see the color is there. There's no parts that are uncolored, including the dark areas. And so just remember that, and as you're doing it, and that will help your grade a lot. Okay. Use this brown for his hair. Let's see if that's. Yeah, we'll try that. All right. So you got to get using your overhand grip and underhand grip. I've been usually mostly overhand grip on this. But you see that I should have probably, I'm not sure, I can't see in the picture, but this is blood droplets here, so not hair. And I put in, I guess I can make them red. Try my best anyway. That's orange. Let's try this red. You gotta really sharpen this one and really use your overhand grip to get a good sense of the blood. You can see that, look at that, comes out pretty clear actually. So it's not a bad thing to use for it. And even up here, there's some. It had sort of dripped. So there's a that really helps you to see that the man is hurt too. All right, well, let it go with that, and have fun doing this project, and I look forward to the next few that we get to do with you as well. Like I said, I've never done these, and I only get to do part of them because I just don't have time to do the whole thing, but looking forward to it again. All right, have a good day. See you next week. Bye.